Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
546. This one is going to be Jalin Hyatt. This is going to be rookie week. I got a Deontay Banks video that either is already out or is going to be uploaded around the same time as this Jalin Hyatt video. And the rookies are balling. The rookies are balling. Jalin Hyatt needs more reps. He needs more reps, which he's getting every week. And he just needs more attention. I mean, whoever is in the game, I will hope that they continue to target Jalin Hyatt this much because it opens up things for the rest of the offense. It makes it so much easier. And without Jalin Hyatt on this field, Darren Waller does not make the plays that he makes. Saquon Barkley does not make that play. I'm literally going to show you how he changed another game and got us another win, just like he did against the Arizona Cardinals. Him and his presence opened up things to get us another win. Open up things for Saquon Barkley. So, again, let's take a look at this. Jalin Hyatt is your wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. He's lined up right out here in man coverage with this cornerback. So I think this is Benjamin St-Juste. And Hyatt, if anybody has seen Jalin Hyatt at the beginning of the season, this release is a million times better than anything he had at the beginning of the season. He just kind of was just trying to run around press coverage. This time he actually has a move, goes to a little bit of a split release here, and just at this point, that's all he needs. Gets to a split release, gets to the outside, has the corner off balance, and just accelerates. And once Hyatt is level with the defender, you can throw the ball. Nobody's over top. And boom. And again, we've seen it with Daniel Jones. We've seen it now with Tyrod every time he's hit him. Jalin Hyatt could be running out of the building with these catches, but they just have not been on the money in stride yet. And when it does hit like that, you're going to see like a 90, 80-yard touchdown from Jalin Hyatt one time this season. We just need one right on the money so he can catch it and keep running. So Tyrod Taylor sees this safety crashing down in the middle of the field, and it's go time. Every single time he's throwing it to Hyatt. Every single time he's going Hyatt or Slayton. When you got a safety that's crashing down, you got one safety deep in the middle of the field, you got to take a shot, and Tyrod is doing it. So look at Jalin Hyatt one more time. Quick, and the ball's already there, and the dude is jogging and making plays. So out of all of the Hyatt videos I've done so far, I don't think I've shown a block yet, and this is a decent block that brings Saquon for about 3 or 4 more extra yards. And I just wanted to throw it in there because why not? I mean, let's show what the guy's doing besides catching the ball, besides running routes. Shows that he should be getting more reps. So just take a look at it. Saquon's going to get this ball, and he's going to break outside. And Jalin Hyatt notices, hey, Saquon is probably going to need a block here. So he crashes down and gets Saquon an extra 4 yards. I mean, just simple stuff like that. You don't have to be a rough and tough blocker. You don't have to be a tight end. But he gets him out of the way, and that gives us, as an offense, more yards. So this is another nice play from Jalin Hyatt that doesn't involve just regular receiver activities. This is a play that shows that you should continue to throw the ball to Jalin Hyatt down the field because he's going to do things like this. And what do I mean? Let's just watch it. He's going to run it out and up. He's going to accelerate. And as he accelerates, the ball's a little bit late. He gets forced out of bounds. And instead of just jogging out of bounds, like we've seen so many Giants wide receivers do, and just say, oh, I didn't get the ball, he continues to track the ball and works his way inside and breaks up the ball. And look at the celebration. Look at the celebration on third down. We're going to punt. But look at Jalin Hyatt get up and act like a DB and say, I forced an incompletion. And this is what we need from a wide receiver that we're going to be throwing this ball too deep, is a guy that is not going to just let these passes be intercepted. Like, if a guy's going to show faith in you to throw you the ball 40, 50 yards downfield on a consistent basis, show that you're not going to leave him out to dry. Show that you're going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that he doesn't throw an interception. So I want to give a shout out to a sponsor on the channel, Underdog Fantasy, and it's kept me really invested in Week 1's games this year. And I've been having a lot of fun, to be honest with you all. You scroll through it. I've been using Pick'em. You scroll through it, you find out Is this player going to be higher or lower than this amount of passing yards or this amount of rushing yards? And you can bundle these players up all the way up to 5 different players. And the more players you put in, the more you can possibly win. You can also use insurance there that's going to make sure that if you get 4 out of that 5, you still get paid. So whether you put in 5, whether you put in 10, whether you put in 20, all the way up to 100, they will match that 100% all the way up to $100 if you use code Diggy. You will not regret it. I've been having a lot of fun. Do it today. So this play is a pretty commonly run play just in general. And you're going to have Jalin Hyatt running across the field. He's going to be a guy that gets wide open. You're going to have Darius Slayton with an outside release to pull that coverage over there down the sideline, who actually gets open towards the end of this play. And they're going to have Darren Waller for good measure. This is very difficult for a defense to defend when you have this much speed at the wide receiver position with Jalin Hyatt and Darius Slayton. And you also have Darren Waller, who's fast running across the field. And this is man coverage here. You're chasing these guys across the field. And if there was not the pressure that Tyrod Taylor ended up being under, this play is a throw to Darius Slayton, a throw to Darren Waller across the field, or a throw to Jalin Hyatt, who's going to get wide open here on this crosser. So just take a look at Hyatt in the slot. He's going to run across the field, and he's open. And because he's open this quickly, but because Tyrod is under pressure, he can't really get the ball to him, and he's having to do too much maneuvering. And it's just unfortunate because, again, look at Darren Waller. He's got a step right there over top of Hyatt. And then if you look at Slayton right here, you look at Slayton here, if Tyrod Taylor standing in a clean pocket, he probably throws his ball to Slayton. And you might have a long touchdown or another, 30, 40-yard completion. So this is what I talked about a little bit earlier on in this film session is sometimes Hyatt just tries to run around, press coverage, and that does not work. All it does is just get you pushed out of bounds. So Hyatt is at the bottom of your screen right here, and he's just going to get thrown out of bounds pretty much because he tries to just run around press coverage, which can work if your quarterback has a bunch of time. But if there's a pass rush, he does try to throw it to him, but there's no space there because you got the safety over the top, because you've slowed yourself down, because instead of getting that instant release, if you're getting a good move at the line of scrimmage or maybe taking the inside release and working your way back outside, you're working in a position where you don't have much real estate for the quarterback to put the ball to. And that ball has to be perfect. It has to be Eli to Mario Manningham level perfect. And literally, if you can see the ball in the air right now, the ball is right on that 40-yard line. Literally, if the ball is a little bit shorter, Jalin Hyatt has a chance to grab it and have 2 feet down. But since it's not absolutely perfect, and I'm talking about literally inches difference, it can't be completed. So you got to give your quarterback some more space, because if you're further inside and you're not running on the tick marks, this is probably a completion. You're going to take a hit, but it's probably completion. So at the beginning of the play, when I said he opens up things for other people, I was not kidding around. He opens up things for other people. And the Giants ran 2 plays on this drive and scored on the second play. And the reason that happened is because the defense started to take notice of what Jalin Hyatt was doing. And there's no concern for what other guys are doing on this play. Against this cover 3, Jalin Hyatt at the bottom of your screen is just going to clear out everything on this side of the field. And they try too hard to bite down on what Darren Waller's doing. And they have no help because they had to go to cover 3. Because when they weren't in cover 3, Tyrod Taylor is just throwing those hole shots over and over again to Jalin Hyatt, and eventually it would have started to go to Darius Slayton. But because this safety has to come down and double team Darren Waller, and you're in cover 3, you've cleared out this space because of Jalin Hyatt's impact, and Darren Waller's wide open, and then the performance starts. Then the show starts. Let's look a little bit further into the show. So this is the second act of the show. This time you got Jalin Hyatt in the slot. And just take a look. Take a look. Same play that I talked about on the other side where you have Waller running across her, Hyatt running across her, Slayton just running a 9 route. And because of Jalin Hyatt putting the fear of God into this defense to where he's getting doubled, and you even got the linebacker sinking back to make sure that Hyatt doesn't get this ball, guess what? Saquon Barkley is one-on-one with the linebacker. Saquon Barkley one-on-one with the linebacker. Look at all this space. Look at all this space that Jalin Hyatt has created for people. This is what Jalin Hyatt brings to the New York Giants. Take a look at all the space there. Take a look at all the space, folks. Look at all the space. Saquon Barkley does not make this play. He does not make this play if Jalin Hyatt doesn't bring half of the defense to the end zone with him because they're scared of him beating them over the top. Take a look at it. So this play is actually on the first drive of the game. And Jalin Hyatt at the bottom of your screen has not gotten as many red zone reps because they were just concerned about his ability to run routes in the red zone. Now, this ball doesn't go to him. And, I mean, I'm not going to knock Tyrod for not throwing it to him because he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not making these kinds of throws. It's just not an easy thing to do. So, good on Tyrod for not throwing it across his body because that's not something that's smart. So, Hyatt is at the bottom of your screen, and he's just going to work his way up the field, fake outside, and find some opening in the middle of the field. And really sells this route well. This is something and some nuance that was not in his short route running as far as the red zone goes until the last couple of weeks. So fakes outside, has space, and that route is on tape now for the Giants. We know that he can run this route on tape, so we're not just worried about Jalin Hyatt running over the top. Now we know he can sell this route outside, and that's going to open up all kinds of things. It's going to open up next time Jalin Hyatt might run to the outside. Next time he might sit there. And next time he might just run this again. And just like that play that Daniel Jones threw to Hyatt, this window is right here. This window is right here. So great route here in the end zone. But again, Tyrod Taylor is not in position with him kind of facing this way to throw this ball across his body there. I mean, possible, but you're not going to ever knock a backup quarterback for not throwing the ball across his body to make this throw. All right, so this will be the last play, and this is by far the best play he made. Seeing that this should have been a touchdown, first off. But nice play by Tyrod initially to look off this safety and to get Jalin Hyatt this space. So you see the safety coming down, walking down there, and look at Tyrod just freezing this safety, staring this safety down, thinking that, okay, maybe he's going to attack this other side. You got double moves on both sides, max protection, and you got a late release here by Darren Waller. But for the most part, the two stars on this play are the double moves, Darius Slayton and Jalin Hyatt. So Tyrod is eyeing this safety down, eyeballing this safety down like, I'm just waiting for Slayton to get open so I can throw it over there. And after that, at the last second, as this safety is getting put to sleep there, you got some real estate here. Got some real estate here for Jalin Hyatt to catch this ball. And this ball should be put, way downfield here for Hyatt to run under. But these quarterbacks still have not gotten used to his speed. Still haven't gotten used to his speed. And Tyrod kind of eyeballed that safety for probably a little bit too long. He looked off the safety, but he probably could have done it for a shorter amount of time. So, no matter his arm strength, he's able to get the ball to Hyatt quicker. Because if Hyatt catches it here, he can keep running. If he catches it here, he can keep running. So, little nitpicky stuff. But, again, I believe this should have been a touchdown. But kind of gets underthrown because Hyatt has to slow down. Because look at all this space. Hyatt has to slow down, and he makes sure he gets his feet in bounds. Make sure he gets his feet in bounds right here. So, I would say this is definitely the play of the day for Jalin Hyatt. And again, look at this separation here. If the ball is put on the money, and this isn't like it is what it is because we've seen the same thing from either quarterback that they just haven't been able to get on that same pace to hit him in stride. But once they start hitting him in stride, it's going to be scary. because he's going to be running these 80-yard, 70-yard, 60, 90-yard touchdowns, and because he's just that fast. So that was the last play for you all. Jalin Hyatt is definitely becoming more and more exciting, as you see, opening up opportunities for other players to make plays underneath. And if he continues to make these plays and the Giants continue to throw him the football, continue to throw him the football down the field, the running game will start to improve. The check down to Saquon Barkley will be that much more dangerous because people will be downfield, and Darren Waller will continue to eat. He's going to continue to eat. If he's got a guy that's stretching the field, he will continue to destroy that middle of the field. And I'll just say I'm excited. I'll definitely say I'm excited because I'm not sure if Jalin Hyatt will ever be a number one receiver, but I do think he's a guy that can easily be a 1,000-yard receiver. He's a guy that can easily make a big play at any moment because his speed is just unguardable. So you guys let me know what you're thinking of Jalin Hyatt and his progression about halfway through the season. And yeah, let me know what you're thinking down in the comments. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.